let's pretend that I am the business owner here. And you, in this area right here, you walked in, we're doing the inspection. What would you be looking for right here in the Novi Ice Arena? What would first off, what would grab your attention?
In a place like this, if this is the first area we're coming into and after we've made contact with you, the things we're looking at here, you see over here we have the exit signs. You're verifying that the exit signs are operating and that indeed you have the clearance to get to that exit. You're looking at the tables, the chairs, making sure those type items aren't in your area of egress to get to that exit.
Okay.
In an open area like that, that's the basic of what you're looking at in this area here.
We'd go over the door and make sure the door did open up also.
Okay, the exit doors?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And,
You visually just quickly look at all the electrical outlets and...
Yeah, we're going to point out this item right back here. This is a surge protector.
Okay.
And so that if they were going to put multiple items, appliances plugged into an outlet, they have to use a fusible multi-plug adapter or a surge protector like they have here.
Okay.
So it's things like that. We're making sure they're not overloading those circuits.
Okay.
You have your emergency lighting units. Those are those boxes on the wall with the lights there that make sure those are functioning properly. We can either use a broom handle to test the button, or there's a circuit breaker in the building. We can turn the circuit breaker and go back and make sure they're all functioning. Okay. We also give a list, a table that the building occupants can go through and they can check their own emergency lights and exit signs. And we encourage them to do that on a monthly basis. And it's just part of them keeping their building safe for their employees and their occupants and their guests as well.
So we talked really mainly about your annual checklist, your inspections. Can people call you and request one?
Certainly.
That maybe they're concerned or something didn't seem right, or they haven't, just a question. Can they call you and request that you come out and do an inspection?
Yeah. Yes, they can, and we do it all the time. We get questions all the time about different fire code issues, and I'm more than happy to call the fire prevention office and answer those questions for them, sure. And if there's ever a doubt, we can send an inspector out.
Do we do those, or do you do those for residents as well, or just business?
We're starting to do that more and more with the residences as well. Michigan law does not allow me to go in to your home and enforce the fire code.
But it does not.
It does not. But if you invite me into your home, we can go in and make recommendations and take a look, and we have a checklist that we can go by and leave that with you as well.
Okay, very interesting. That more and more as well.
Yeah, we're seeing more of that.
As homes become older, is that the need, or why are we seeing more people?
I think it's more of an awareness.
Okay.
I think it's through public awareness and concern that people are making those requests.
Okay. How often when you're on an inspection, Gordon, do you get a call and you actually have to leave the inspection and come back?
That happens quite often. That's probably our biggest issue we have. You're doing, like Mike stated, a company inspection. You could be in the middle of this inspection here and it may take you an hour to do this inspection. Half hour in, you could be leaving and letting the responsible know you'll be back. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as we can.
As soon as we can.
It does seem to happen quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you can have a slow day and not do anything. As soon as you
Murphy's
go out
Law,
and do the inspection, the Murphy's Law comes in, right? And what our inspectors do too is they let them know that the reason this big fire truck is pulling up in front is because we're in service to go on calls. That's our number one priority. So that if we do have to leave, we'll be back. Not to worry about that. And sometimes when people will wonder, well, how come this big fire truck is coming? Isn't it a waste of tax dollars for that big fire truck to come up and do this inspection? And no, it's not. It's actually a very efficient, very effective way of doing it. And the knowledge base that these men and women gain from it is phenomenal. And plus we're getting the code compliance as well. So it's actually a very good way of doing that type of work.
You just kind of alluded to an interesting component. People a lot of times see the police, the fire, the city hall as being separate entities, when in reality, the fire department works very closely with our community development department on new buildings that are being constructed or renovations, etc.
Yes.
There's inspections that are required from a fire code side, not just a building code side.
That is correct, yes. Anytime that they go in and they do alteration work to a sprinkler system or a fire alarm system, the building official calls upon the fire department to do those inspections on those types of systems. Those are our areas of expertise, as well as given the final fire inspection for a certificate of occupancy or final approval. The building official calls upon the fire department and for that approval as well.
You know, I hate to go back to unfortunate incidents, but I'm going to go there because I'm looking out at the ice. We just saw the Zamboni. We had an unfortunate accident here a few years back where an actual Zamboni, nothing here mechanical in the building, but the actual Zamboni caught fire.
Yeah.
Everything worked properly, I'm assuming.
Yes, it did. The fire alarm system activated. Everybody got out of the building safely. There were no injuries that occurred to the public or the firefighters as well. And although the ice arena was closed for, I think, several weeks.
It was, I think, about a month or so.
Okay.
Due to smoke damage.
Due to
There
smoke
was
damage,
nothing.
yes, and everything went fine with that. And then, like I said before, we're not going to stop all fires from occurring. And in this case, the Zamboni on the ice had a hydraulic fluid leak, and that caught fire. And there's, we can't prevent that from happening.
No, you can't. Not something you inspected
Not
either.
something we inspect, no.
No,
not at all.
It was just a total accident, and those things do occur.
Right. But that's when I went back and said making sure the means of egress are available because fires will occur. Everybody got out of the building fine.
Wonderful. Great example, too, then, of everything working together. Thank you both so much. I know you got much work to do in here, not just to sit here and talk with me, but to actually inspect the building. So thank you very much for taking the time to come out and share another aspect of firefighting in Novi, not just actually racing into the burning buildings or going on a medical call or something of that nature when community members are in need, but actually maintaining the safety of our buildings in the community.
Our pleasure.
So thanks so much.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Please don't go away.
Thanks for watching this episode of Firehouse number 6. Hope you learned something about what the fire protection officers do on a daily basis. And actually, we hope that we don't ever have to see you under working conditions, more under favorable conditions like a tour of the fire station or a call for Novi or something like that instead of during fire suppression efforts. So we will see you again, and thanks for coming, Cheryl.
Not a problem. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have learned something definitely today on the last show I did with you. Now I'm hoping that I can get you to put on some skates and I'll go show you a few things.
Okay.
Let's go.